talking, hey, what's on your mind? She's on the inside, she got the scoop on the ones to watch, on the ones that's hot. No one can do it quite like Caroline.
Hey y'all, it's Caroline Hobby and welcome to my show, Get Real from the Music City, capital of the world. In each episode, I get the real story from the most inspiring, interesting people in Nashville, Tennessee. I have done everything in the music entertainment industry. I was in the trio Stealing Angels with 2 top 50 country charting songs, a finalist and runner-up on season 22 and season 24 of The Amazing Race. You can currently catch me on CMT's hit show, I Love Kelly Pickler. I am an entertainment news correspondent and host for the TV show Nashville Insider, and my podcast, Get Real with Caroline Hobby, was featured on iTunes' New and Noteworthy and charted on iTunes' Top 200 podcast. I'm also married to the smoking hot front man, Michael Hobby, of the #1 chart-topping band, 1,000 Horses. So buckle up and get ready to get real with me, Caroline Hobby. Welcome to my show. Okay. Hi, ladies.
Hello.
I'm here with my 2 most favorite twins in the world and our most favorite store to shop together.
Yes.
Lizard Thicket, Green Hills. And come over here real fast. And really fast.
Come on.
We have to have the owner make a quick cameo.
Yes, she's the real rock star.
This is Ann Stanford.
Hi.
Stanford.
Yeah, Stanford.
Okay, and she has the cutest clothes ever. We're dressed in Lizard Thicket. We love it. In the Green Hills location. So all y'all listening, get your booties over here and see Ann.
Yes.
Tell them we sent you and you get how much percent off?
20.
20% off! If you come tell Ann that Megan, Liz, and Caroline sent you 20% off in the Green Hills Lizard Thicket.
Sounds good to me.
It's like Christmas!
Thank you for coming, y'all. I really appreciate it.
Well, we love it.
Knock yourselves out.
Okay,
Over here.
so we're knocking ourselves out. So, guys, talk to me. I already interviewed y'all once, and it was the best interview because you two are the most positive people that ever existed. We were actually talking about that earlier, saying like, oh, I feel like my juju's off just a little bit. Because if you don't keep up the positive thinking, it really can send you down a negative.
Yeah.
So tell me what's going on. Like, why are we stressing out? Because there's not anything big happening in y'all's life these days. Your life as a one and then twins, everything that happens to one happens to both, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I feel like I woke up the other day and like I was like posting about like the Sunday scaries.
Yes,
Yeah.
explain to me that because it's just like starting the new week.
Yeah, it's just like, and I feel like, and a lot of people actually replied to it and they were like, oh my gosh, like I totally relate to this. It's like, it's almost like when you have a week full of stuff that even if it's great, it's just like, you're expecting it to go one way. You're like, oh my gosh, how is this gonna happen? Like,
for some reason, when anything positive happens, like most people's brains, I feel like tend to think of the worst possible thing that could happen in the positive. And like, why is that?
Because we're scared to lose it?
Maybe.
It's like, this is so great. Now I'm going to freak out that I lose it. I actually read in like The Secret or one of those books that a lot of people who build really huge empires also lose them because when you have nothing to lose, it's easy to build something. But then once you get it, you're like, oh my gosh, I got it. And then you're so scared to lose it that you lose it all because you start thinking about losing it.
Yeah.
Do you think that's how that could happen?
yeah, oh yeah, definitely. But then I also like, I read something like, it wasn't The Secret, but it was something like that like, it was a quote that was like, people dress rehearse tragedy.
Yeah.
Oh, break that down.
So basically it just, I mean, I shared that with you too, that like, basically it's just like you play up like, oh, well, if I lose this, then, you know, it won't be that hard because I've already thought about it.
You try and like soften the blow for yourself.
But that doesn't work because
doesn't
it never
work,
happens.
and it never happens. And then when something bad actually does happen,
You're like,
you
oh,
never
I-
saw it coming.
Yeah.
And you didn't have time to dress rehearse it. So it's like it's a waste of time.
Because the things that you think about are actually never the things that are going to happen. It's going because it's all make-believe. So you're just making something up. But really, like you said, yes, it's going to be something totally different that you couldn't even expect. So why waste your time thinking negative thoughts?
Exactly.
Right, okay. I love this. We just solved everyone's problems in the world.
There you go.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
So this whole series, this influencer series, I started because I've gotten to fall into this incredible group of girls with you guys, and there's like, I don't know, 10, how many other, like 10 people that we talk to on a regular basis.
Yeah.
People are always coming in and out.
Yeah.
And it's this awesome group of influencers.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to know what an influencer is. So basically, what is an influencer to you guys? And how do you do this? And what is how do you get started as an influencer?
I feel like everybody's definition of an influencer is a little bit different depending on like what you feel like your strengths are, because for us, I feel like the way we influence our audience is through music, but also through positivity and positive body image and you know just being the best version of yourself and just that, you know, being yourself. And I think that's what
Do you think that's what people latch on to?
I do. I really do. I think people like to see people being themselves.
Yeah, and
Totally.
also like, I feel like every influencer has something that like is totally their own. You know, like it's like there are so many beautiful women in this world, and they all like should get like 1 million likes on Instagram.
Yeah.
But like the difference is like, you know, like we have our music. You know what I mean? Like that's something that we're so passionate about, and we're like, you know, we pour ourselves into, and then that's what people, they want to see us succeed in the music. And then it's like, you know, like other ladies in the group have like they talk about their kids and like their kids' lives and like how that, and so they want to see their kids succeed. They want to see their, you know, all of that. So it's like we all have our different things, and I feel like that's really important.
Little areas.
Yeah.
How do you guys like to get your product out there? Not product, what would it be, like your post out there? Do you like to do it through Instagram? Do you like to do it through YouTube? Are you bloggers? How do you like, or is it all of it? How do y'all like to, is it through your music? How do people get your stuff? Like, how do you reach people the most?
I feel like it's like a little bit of everything. It kind of depends on like what the content we're putting out is. Like if it's like a music video, obviously it'll live on YouTube, but if I just feel like pouring my heart and soul out in a blog about, you know, a terrible week I had and how I grew from it, I'm going to type out a blog post and put it on our website. So it's it just really depends on what's going on in our lives, I feel like.
Is everything attached to your website? Can you get to everyone from your website?
You
so
can.
that's just meganandliz.com.
Yep.
Sure is.
And that can take you to YouTube, that can take you to your music. So this is where you go for everything, y'all.
Yeah, basically. I mean, it just links to everything.
Yeah,
And,
all of our socials, you can get there through
Yeah.
that. And
yeah, and we have like content that lives there, like the blogs too. So. Yeah.
So my question is, if you are talking to like new girls
Yeah.
or new people who are wanting to get into, what would your first steps be? Like, what would you say definitely do if you want to get into an influencer world, and definitely do not do?
I actually had a conversation with somebody like
Really?
on the phone. Yeah, it was a guy, which like interesting enough. Like but I mean,
Yeah, guys could be influencers
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
It's
I
not
mean,
just limited to girls.
same advice applies. But like when I was like talking to him, like at first I was like, I don't know what to tell him. Like I don't know what to do. But as I was talking to him, I was like, you know what?
yeah.
Actually, the biggest thing that he thought was really helpful was asking. And actually,
What do you mean
that's
asking?
so like there's another influencer named Alexis Teichmiller. Do you know who that is?
No.
So you should
She's
interview
awesome
her.
too. Yeah.
Okay.
She's
She's
super awesome.
literally, but she is the one.
Alexis
Teichmiller.
Teichmiller. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she runs the laptop lifestyle. It's really awesome. But anyways,
Nice.
so she literally told me one time we were sitting in coffee, and she's like, "Yeah, no, I just ask. Like
You
I
can't be
literally-
afraid to ask.
Yeah, like if you want to work with a brand, even if you have no following, you DM them and say, hey, listen, like I can style your product really great, and I can get you a great photo. Then like 9 times out of 10, like a brand will be like, why not?
We'll send you
So
something.
how do you ask?
Yeah.
Like, say you want to phrase it. Say you don't have a lot of followers, but you want to do
Yeah.
something that. How would you put that in a DM? Like, what would you say exactly?
You just kind of say what you can offer. You know, you say, hey, like
So
if
you don't say I just want to work together. You say
No.
I can offer you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you need to offer them something. What are the things?
Yeah.
Like I can offer you a great like that. Even
Yeah,
just a
great
picture.
content.
A great-
in exchange for, I mean, obviously in the beginning, like it's just free product, but like that's what's gonna help you build. And if they like the picture that you took, they're gonna repost it, and that's
gonna
gonna
get
help
you
you get you
followers.
followers.
Yeah.
Oh, so
So-
instead of just saying like, that's a great way to partner because you're
Yeah.
offering a picture and they need that for their digital
Yeah.
stuff. So
Yeah.
it's actually a win-win. Instead of them having to go pay for that.
Yeah.
And hire models.
Yeah.
You're doing it. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's just be asking and
Yeah.
and not being too scared to ask.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's been a huge thing for us that in the past year, I feel like has,
We've stopped being afraid to ask.
Yeah,
Yes.
Because the worst thing they can say is no, or they won't answer. And,
Right. Who cares?
And then you're in the same
cares?
spot that you
Yeah.
were.
Yeah.
So it's like, who cares?
And the best thing they can say is yes, and you'll
Yeah.
figure out a way to work together.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then that leads to like other opportunities, you know, like maybe this time you got a product, but next time they say, oh great, they gave us a great, you know, exchange.
And
so
their base has grown since then. Like,
Yeah.
we can pay them
we'll
this
pay them
time.
next time.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
So just ask everybody and everything, brands you
Don't
love.
be afraid.
Don't be afraid to just literally slide into their DMs and be like, hey.
Hey.
Yeah.
That is so true, especially with this digital world. I feel like social
Yeah.
media is a new way of advertisement.
It totally
Oh,
is.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
People believe what everybody is posting about because it's genuine and it's reacting for
I
a
learn
reason.
about stuff from
Me
social
too,
media. Like
totally.
I'll look on people's like stories and I'm like, oh man, I want to try that.
Or songs, even when people post about songs. Like if 3 people post the same song, I'm gonna go listen to it because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, it must be good.
yeah.
So what not to do when you are starting and you want to become an influencer? What are like your top no-nos? A lot of the girls are saying do not buy followers. I didn't even know that
Oh,
was really a
yeah.
thing, but
Oh,
like
no.
don't buy followers.
I mean, brands do know when, like, they can tell because your like ratio is just like completely off, and then you'll get like no comments, and then that just is a bad path to go. So don't buy followers.
Yeah.
But I would say the thing I've learned would probably be don't, like, if you admire other influencers, admire them, but don't copy them.
Don't copy them. Yeah.
Because nobody's gonna follow you if you're like the other version of so and so. People are gonna follow you because you're the best version of you, and you have to find your individuality and your originality and what makes you an influencer.
I totally agree with that. Because why just be a repeat of something
Yes.
else?
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally.
And also, I'd say don't be too glossy.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Like I feel like
Like, you can be glossy on your posts, but
What's
keep it real.
glossy mean?
You
I
know,
know
just
I'm
like,
old.
you know, everything perfectly propped and staged and,
Yeah.
you know, but keep
Right.
it real in your Instagram stories at least. You have to keep it real somewhere because that's what the audience relates to.
Totally.
They want to see you sitting, you know, on your bed with a face mask on, drinking wine before you go to bed, talking about like something stupid that happened.
Or talking about even like a breakout,
Yeah.
what you're doing, just to
Yeah.
show that you're a real human.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what they relate to. They don't want to relate to the perfect
like
Photoshop.
ideal, especially if you don't have a lot of followers, because then it's just like who do you think you are? You know, what I mean? It's like you are human, like
everybody else.
everybody else, and it's just like you're not like a perfect glossy like model.
Yeah.
That, like,
Right.
you know what I mean? It's like you don't have any followers yet.
So keep it in proportion with where you are too.
Yeah.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, like if you all of a sudden get like 1 million followers, like you guys do on YouTube, y'all have freaking 1 million YouTube followers, then that way, like, I mean, you're probably gonna do a little more editing than you would if you had,
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
I mean,
But you're still keeping it real.
yeah, all we did really is we kind of just stepped up our equipment game and our lighting because we
Yeah.
were like, oh, we got 1 million people watching now, so we kind of
Gotta
need
make
to
it
like,
worth it.
yeah, we need to get the lighting a little better. But
Is that intimidating knowing there's 1 million eyeballs? Well, I guess 2 million eyeballs because everyone has 2 eyeballs. Not just a hat rack.
Oh.
Is that it? That was pretty good, right?
That was
Wow.
good. That was great.
Is it intimidating knowing that there's all those eyeballs watching you?
We're so used to it.
Yeah, and I feel like not all 2 million of the eyeballs are gonna click on everything you post. So,
Yeah.
and also too, not all of the 2 million eyeballs might be subscribed to you. A lot of
Right.
them come from somebody else posting or Facebook or something. So it's like, I don't read the comments anymore. I
No.
just don't because nobody, like, I know who I am. I know who we
Yeah.
are. You don't have anything to offer to me, so
Yeah, if you're gonna
be negative,
and if someone's gonna really want to reach out to you and work with you, they're gonna email you.
Yeah.
And you have an outlet for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all that negative. Not that y'all get much negative, I'm sure, because y'all are so
Oh,
sweet.
we do.
Yeah.
Oh, we
But
do.
people do like to hate. I remember the first time I ever got like a negative email, or like a
hurt.
direct message from someone. I like was so hurt by it.
Yeah.
it sticks in your brain.
And then you start second guessing yourself.
Yeah.
And then you just, like you said, you know who you are.
Yeah.
You know that your heart's good, and
And
you're
they don't
trying to
know
put
you
up.
personally.
They
Right.
don't.
They don't. As much as like you share on your socials, like at the end of the day, like they don't know you personally. They don't know who you are when you're not on your phone. You
Right.
know, and you just got to keep, knowing who that is.
And they don't know like what was going on that day that
Yeah.
might have attributed to why you posted something or like
Yeah.
the way you reacted to something. It's like
Yeah.
all you can do is just be as honest as you can on the internet and hope that people see that.
And it's a whole new world. Like y'all's generation, especially and younger,
Mm-hmm.
they're never gonna have grown up without a social media. So it's crazy.
That like kind of terrifies me a little bit just
Yeah,
because I feel like a lot of kids I'm seeing nowadays, they're like missing out on being kids almost. Like
They're worried about how many likes they're getting, or who's
Yeah.
following them, or did
Yeah.
they get unfollowed by someone.
yeah.
I was talking to somebody recently who said that like it was like somebody in their college, You know who it was.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody, her sister is in college, like a freshman in college, and she said that girls were literally not paying attention to their classes and not, like, just, they didn't care because they're like, whatever, I'm just gonna be an influencer.
Yeah.
Like, people are actually saying that. Like, girls who are like 18, 19 are actually like throwing away their whole lives because they think they're just gonna be a pretty face on Instagram. And it's just like, oh my gosh.
So,
I'm like,
but tell me a little bit more on that.
Yeah.
Being an influencer, and this is, I interviewed Ashley Houston and
Uh-huh.
Ashley
Yeah.
Wilson yesterday, and they were saying there's so much more work to being an influencer than
Yeah.
just
yeah.
being a pretty face. Because
Yeah.
tell me all the things that you have to do to run your brand that actually make, because like people see you guys post and you're like, oh my gosh, they have the life, and y'all do have an incredible life, but like it's not that you're not working. So what does it take to be an influencer? Like, what are you guys doing to keep your brand running?
I mean, well, we definitely, you always have to have something other than just your looks fueling your brand.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether it be,
Totally.
because
Like you have to have something like a blog,
Yeah.
a musical
some
outlet,
substance.
like yes,
Yeah.
something, or you be just a great clothes like stylist, right?
Yeah.
And have like
really,
a great
stylist,
outfit stylist.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like on a daily basis, it's like you can go from, you know, going back and forth, sending edits, like 2 or 3 edits with a brand all day. Like you have to learn, you know, Final Cut Pro. You have to learn, you know, how to edit your own pictures in Afterlight. Like there's so
You have to like be really good with brands and be really on top of it, and like no brand is the same. So like every person you work with is gonna have different preferences and different whatever, and you have to be flexible.
and you have to be nice. Otherwise, they're not going to work with you again.
Yeah.
Like you have
which
to.
which that sounds weird, like you have to be nice, but
Yeah.
like sometimes like we've worked with some brands that you're just like, I literally just want to say like forget this whole thing, and you're being so dramatic.
Yeah.
But you can't, you know, like you have to just keep that relationship good and
Be professional.
And then with us, since our music like is our like main thing, like what a lot of people don't understand is that we totally fund our own careers. Like at this point in time, you know, like we pay for all of our own music.
You were saying that y'all paid for your whole album.
Yeah.
The last
Yeah.
album you guys
Yeah.
made, y'all funded that. You don't
Yeah.
have a record label or anything behind you guys.
Yeah.
So you are your own brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
so,
your own record label.
So that's a whole thing that like
And that's another scary part of it too, because you're literally gambling on yourself, which
Yes.
sounds like it would be easy, but
it's hard.
It's really hard.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of money involved.
Yeah.
And that's what it's for an influencer too. You have to gamble on yourself,
Yeah.
and that's taking a bet on yourself is a lot harder than you'd think.
Yeah. Like when it comes down to it, it's
Because you have
it's
nobody
really
else to
hard.
blame if like you didn't get that
Yeah.
check at the end of the day, and you know you're like, well, what am I gonna do for money this month? You know what I mean?
But see,
Like,
that's the other thing though. It's like you have to budget. You have to, you know, plan out like your releases. You have like there's just so much to think about in a single release project.
yeah, whatever that may be.
I
Whether-
think that is
yeah.
such good advice, though. You have to have something else besides your looks. And if
Yeah.
you're going to do looks, then you better just have awesome clothes.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
fashion sense, right?
Fashion,
Yeah,
But
but
you still have to blog about it.
yeah, and even that, it's like there's not a whole lot of longevity in that. Just because you're not going to be like, you know, 25 forever, like with this perfect body. It's like you have to have like, whether it be a husband or a family or just a great sense of style that will eventually transition into styling like older outfits. But
Yes.
you want to have a sustainable long career.
Yes.
And
I
that goes
think-
back to being personal too.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like it's like you can't just be a really pretty face that posts pretty pictures and not have anybody know anything about you except the fact that you're pretty. Like it's the realness, it's the like relatability and yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Talk to me about what life has been like in the influencer world since you've gotten engaged, because that's a
Oh.
whole other world. The influencer
It
world
is.
loves babies and they love engagements and
Yeah.
weddings.
Yeah.
So what has that been like?
I mean, I always like assumed like because you just see it like online like when somebody gets engaged like
People love weddings.
people love
People
weddings.
love weddings.
Yeah.
Love them.
And I always thought like, oh, that'll be like when it happens, you know, obviously I'm not like, Weston, we need to get engaged so I can get some social media like attention. Like that is
Yeah.
not but like it really is. But the thing about it is I think that people really want to believe in love.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And social media is a positive thing because
Yeah.
it's letting people see that there's real love stories
Yes.
out there. Which
Yeah.
is great because the news likes to feature all the bad stuff.
Yeah.
But social
Yeah.
media can actually feature true love stories.
True love stories.
Yep.
And I'm actually like so grateful that like you know, like I didn't realize that I was filming my own engagement video because I thought I was vlogging a trip.
Okay,
You know
so
what I
talk to
mean?
me about that, because you pulled, and Megan was big time in pulling off the surprise.
Yeah.
Just briefly describe your engagement, because it was epic.
I was totally surprised. I mean, we had talked about getting engaged, but I genuinely had no idea. And then, we took this trip to New York, and then Megan, he had arranged with Megan to fly out, and Megan, with Whit, and his whole family flew out. And she had turned off her location because we follow each other. It was just this whole thing, and oh my gosh, she was sending me pictures from home of Waffle, our dog. It was
He was?
yeah, Megan. She was sending me pictures of Waffle that she had taken earlier.
Oh wait, you were acting like you weren't there.
Yeah.
Who were you there with?
I was there with
Weston.
Weston. Yeah.
Okay, you were oh my gosh, so
Yeah.
Megan, your whole family. Okay,
Yeah.
I got it.
So
y'all were just kind of taking a trip?
Yeah.
Awesome.
That I had planned. So it wasn't he had planned it. And
Right,
I was suspicious.
right.
But yeah, social media has been crazy in this journey so far, and so helpful. I literally, because I have no idea what I'm doing with wedding planning, and I'm just hey, any good advice on this?
And she gets
just DM after DM of really helpful stuff, and I'm just thank you guys.
you guys are helpful.
Yeah, and people love to see a love story, and I'm so happy that
that restores my faith in humanity and
Yeah,
the world,
right?
because
Yes.
everybody loves love, and that's
It
so
wants
great
to know
me.
it's real.
Yeah,
Like you said.
yeah,
Because the world is so sad. If we don't
Yeah.
have love to link onto, then what is there?
Yeah.
yeah,
That's what makes the world beautiful.
yeah. I think it's so great.
And another thing that I love that you guys are so good about is, like you said, positive body image.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this,
Yeah.
Liz and I have, because I've struggled with, who doesn't struggle with bad body image?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But tell me why that is so important to you guys, because young girls especially are looking up to y'all.
Yeah.
And tell me why it's important to use your platform in that way, because I think that is such a great, because y'all still are stylish and you're great, but you're
Yeah.
never, you're also encouraging loving yourself.
Yeah.
And explain why that means so much to you guys.
Well, I think especially nowadays with all those the Facetune apps and Photoshop, and just literally being able to make yourself thinner or make your skin look better right on an app. I think that that's really messing with a lot of girls' self-esteem, because they're scrolling through.
Mine included.
Yeah,
Jeez.
me too.
Yeah, they're scrolling through Instagram and they're oh my gosh, this girl, her body's perfect, but you don't
I'll never
know.
look like that.
Exactly, and it's you can't. It's just unattainable, because it's not even attainable for the people that are posting it, because they're editing
Smoothing it all out,
Yeah,
stitching in their ways.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think it's important for young women and just women in general to know that, and to look in the mirror and learn to love yourself, because that's who's with you all day, every day, for the rest of your life.
How do
Yeah.
you learn to love yourself when you look in the mirror? Because I've had to teach myself this.
Yeah.
Because when
Yeah.
It's daily.
even
Yeah.
sometimes now when I look in the mirror and I'm Caroline, you're working with a lot. This is great. You're looking
Yeah.
good, but then I'll immediately just be oh God, that
Yeah.
area or that area,
Yeah.
try to,
Yeah.
And I'm why do I do that? But it's,
Yeah.
how
It's
do you
hard.
teach yourself to love yourself? Because you can have the best buddy in the world. I look
Yeah.
at you guys and I'm how could you not have perfect self-image?
Well, I think that about you,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's just everyone feels this way.
Yeah.
So how
Yeah.
do you learn to accept yourself?
That right there, everybody feels this way. And
Yeah.
nobody looks at their body and is I'm stoked on it.
And
that-
nobody is looking at you the way
Yeah,
that you're looking
the
at
way
yourself.
that you look
That
at
is
yourself.
so true. Learning that was
Yeah.
so much
Yeah.
freedom for me.
nobody's looking at you and thinking wow, if her thighs were just a little bit smaller, she'd be really
she'd be
pretty.
perfect.
Then I'd
Like-
really like her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nobody's thinking that. But then also just for me, I really appreciate my body when, I know this sounds weird, but when I get sick or when I have a workout injury or something, I'm oh my gosh, this is the body that is literally healing
Keeping me
itself.
alive.
It's keeping me alive. I can't believe that it's physically doing all of this work for me, and then it's why am I being so mad about this
know.
stupid
Yeah.
stuff when it is literally keeping me alive? And there are so many people in this world who do not have the luxury that we all have.
Yeah,
Just to be able to walk
Exactly.
to our heartbeat
Yeah.
by itself,
Yeah.
breathe easily, see,
Yeah.
hear. Honestly, if you go through it all, that our body is working is amazing.
Yeah.
The second that I start to go down on myself negatively, I try and think about that. I think about Megan, you are perfectly healthy, and you have no reason to complain about a little thing that nobody's gonna notice because there are people out there that would kill to be perfectly healthy. Like
Yes.
they're sitting in a hospital bed, or they're
Sick, yeah.
they're sitting in their house because they're paralyzed, or like we
Yes.
are all so lucky to be healthy. And I think that at the end of the day, that's what we need to remember.
Yeah.
And I think what you girls are so good at practicing, and I try to practice this too, but just appreciating whatever you have. Even if you do have some illnesses or something wrong, but still finding something to be grateful for.
Yeah.
Because there's always something to be grateful for.
Always.
There always is something to be grateful for. And if you can't be grateful for what you have, then you really can't appreciate anything else. It's like, oh, if I could just get this, then I'd be happy. Well, what if this is your last day of living?
Yeah, you're gonna
know?
keep chasing that for like as long as you live. If you're like, oh, when I get this, I'll be happy. Oh, when I get this, I'll be happy. You'll just be chasing it forever.
Yeah.
And I think you're really the universe hands you what, the deck of cards that your life is going to be, and it's the way you handle it in your head, and it's the way you approach it. And
And you're right, you were given this, so
Yeah.
obviously, if God or that bigger force, whatever thing is divine, then he made us this way for a reason. So we need to just start appreciating, like, okay, I'm this way.
Yep.
I have this brain. Even
Yep.
though sometimes I think my brain is so bananas. I'm like, how am I even living in this brain? Because it's a psychopath
I mean,
brain.
same, yeah. Yeah.
But it's like, and you have this drive and this heart and these things that you want to do. And that's another thing, like callings.
yeah.
Tell me about y'all's calling, because y'all's calling has become this brand. It's like so much more than just like music and clothes and interviewing. But like, how do you figure out your calling, and how do you make your calling into what you do with your life?
Yeah. I mean, you have to listen to it, like really listen to it. Like,
How do you listen to your heart and your calling?
I mean,
Like, what does it feel like? Is it like how do you know when it's a yes and when it's a no? Like, do you feel resistance when it's a no? Do you feel like kind of gross when it's a no? Like, do you feel peace when it's a yes? Like, how do you get the answer?
I feel like for me, I think it's like when I get on, like when I was first learning to play guitar and like writing songs, it was like I couldn't stop. Like it was almost like an adrenaline rush.
you crave it.
Yeah, you
crave
crave
whatever
it.
it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And eventually I realized like the reason that I liked music so much was because my stories, I felt like I was helping other people by
With your
telling my
stories.
stories through music. And I realized that like meeting people in person and hearing that, like that was the connection that I was chasing all along. Like it wasn't even necessarily like, my name up in lights. It was never that. It was always like that connection with people.
Like, you want to know that your life mattered and what you went through could help someone else with what they're going through. So your hurt and your pain and your experiences were for something.
Yes, exactly. And that made all of my life experiences make total sense to me. And it was just like this, it was like a come to Jesus moment. It was the coolest thing.
Yeah, and like you know when something isn't right.
Yeah.
You do, because
Like,
it just
you
feels
just do.
bad.
Yeah.
It just feels bad.
You don't
and like,
enjoy it. You don't look forward to it.
You're uneasy, you're uncomfortable, like
Yes.
Yeah, I mean that. I feel like we're that way with certain people sometimes, or certain brands, certain like situations.
Yeah.
Like you just know when you're like, this doesn't feel right.
You gotta listen
and
to that little voice in your head.
Yeah, and we always do. I feel like we've always been really good at that, and I feel like it's like we know what's good.
Yeah.
And like you just have to be like take
Brave.
the time and be whimsical a little bit and just
Yeah.
like be like, how am I feeling about this? Like, was there something that person said that didn't rub me the right way? Why did it not rub me the right way?
Get to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, take the time to explore when you hit a negative patch. Like, why do I feel weird? Okay,
Yeah.
and then search down to the answer.
Yeah. And then if that answer is something that you're like, okay, I'm not going to do it.
There's
then don't
nothing
do
wrong.
It.
Yeah, there's
There's
nothing
nothing
wrong
wrong.
with saying no.
Yeah.
And being brave enough to believe in yourself to say no to good opportunities.
Yeah.
Because it is sometimes really hard to say no to a great opportunity.
Oh yeah.
Especially if like there's money involved or if you feel like it could get you exposure.
Yeah.
But if you get that resistance or that feeling, do you feel like you say no?
I say I
We've
trust
said
it.
we've said no to a lot of stuff that we thought, like it could have like, it was really cool and it was
It
whatever,
could have
but
brought us like here or here or here.
but we didn't like the person that was doing it, or we didn't
got
get a good feeling.
Weird, yeah.
and you just say no, and then you don't
juju.
miss it.
Yeah.
You know, you don't
And
miss
then something
it.
in that open space for something that does feel right
Yes.
to come in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing people don't realize. If you say yes to something, then then you're occupied. Like
Yeah.
you don't have
Yeah.
that availability anymore.
Yep.
Yeah.
For something that you actually should be doing.
Yeah, I feel like we've never said no to an opportunity and we've never looked back and been like, dang, like
We
we should
should
have
have
done
said
that.
yes.
We've never
done that.
Never done that. It's always like we always feel like it's led us to.
If anything,
the
it
right.
comes full circle, and we're like, wow, we're really
Thank
glad
goodness
we
we
didn't
didn't
do
do
that.
So tell me about music, because you girls, like, music is your heart and soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me what's going on with y'all musically right now.
Well, I mean,
Tell me about the last album. When did that one get
I
released?
mean, it was a while ago.
I know, that was almost 2 years
It
ago.
was almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So have
it
y'all
was 2
been
years
writing
ago.
ever since,
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
We're always writing. We like to keep that part of our brain like active.
We put out singles every now and then, and
Yeah, and like right now we're shooting a music video this weekend.
For
and
which
we're
song?
It's called Hand on Mine, and it's one of those songs that you really like. You have to listen to the words because the chorus is the same, but the verses tell two different stories.
but it all
ties
in the end.
together.
Yeah, we'll play it for you.
Yeah.
okay.
So yeah, we're really excited because we kind of took like a halftime, I feel like, on that, and we're just now tapping back into it
Halftime on.
like just the music part.
Yeah.
Like we put out singles and stuff, but I feel like now we're like, all right, we're gonna kick it back into gear.
So now you're like, okay, 2 years have gone by since we put out an album.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we're craving it. The
Yeah.
craving's
Yeah.
coming
yes,
back.
Craving.
yes,
Absolutely it.
Like
And,
you're feeling the urge to do it.
And like we do this thing like when we're like practicing or whatever, like sometimes we'll be like singing together and
Yeah.
like we like look at each other when we're done and we're like, oh
Wow,
my
we
god, like
felt
we
that.
felt that. And
Yeah.
like that doesn't, and we feel like we haven't had that in a while, but I feel like we've been having it more recently. And that's what's like, we don't pressure ourselves, you know, to be like, we gotta put out this, we gotta put out that. Like we wait until we crave it again,
Yeah.
and we're craving it again.
'cause that's when the magic happens.
And that's when the magic happens.
But that's when inspiration is ready to be
Yeah.
received. That's when the inspiration
Yeah.
is. You girls are really good at listening to your heart. Is that scary, just operating from your heart? Or are you so used to it now that, like,
Yeah, I feel like we're so used to it.
I feel like it hasn't led us wrong. I feel like our mom really taught us to like always do that, and so like it's.
and
something
y'all's
we've
mom is
always
the
done.
cutest person on earth. She actually came shopping with us at
She
Living
sure
Here
did.
Here in Green Hills.
She
was
did.
So cute.
I know.
So what did she teach you? How did she instill that in you?
I feel like it was something she must have done since we were like babies because there was never like it was always just like an automatic thing.
Yeah, there was never another option but
Yeah.
to do that. Like
So-
literally.
So if something bad would happen, what would your mom's response be?
She'd be like, she would be like, you know, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
You just need to trust that that didn't work out for a reason, and whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen.
What
And-
a great person to grow up with as the voice in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she never like forced us to do anything. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like why we follow exactly what we want and what we feel, because she never told us to do anything. She never
Mm-hmm.
told us how to dress. She never told us how to like choose to spend our time. She never forced us to do anything. So
Mm-hmm.
it was very all up to us our whole
So like our hearts
Childhood.
like led us everywhere throughout our childhood, middle school, high school.
yeah. And
to this
so
day.
so we like
You got used to trusting that at a
Yeah.
young age.
yeah.
How do you girls work together? Like, what is y'all's vibe together? How do y'all flow? Like, what is the personality difference and similarities?
Oh, I mean,
At the end of the day, we're always on the same page,
oh yeah.
but I don't know. She's definitely more like the social butterfly. Like I take a while to open up to people, and I don't know why, because I wasn't like that my whole life. I think something along the way kind of made me hesitant.
Like, you had a roadblock. It kind of
Yeah.
scarred you, and, like, maybe you haven't realized it.
Yeah.
What it was, but it's
I'll
like,
probably wake up one day and be like, oh,
that was it. Oh,
yeah.
you'll figure it out. one
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely more like, I feel like I know everybody, and
Yeah.
and there's like certain things that like come, I'll be like, hey, like so and so said they wanted to do this, like what do you think? And then you'll be like, okay, well let's like look into it and like let's see how we can maximize it, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like take the time to kind of like make it more of like a thing, where I'm just like, let's just do it all the time, let's just like everything.
But that's
like,
part of like your whimsical like joy that makes you such like a special little human. Is like you don't even need to think about that. You're just like, yes, world.
yeah.
Like, and it's great.
But then
Yeah.
also like she's so much better with money, and like literally today, like I just like there was just like this stupid thing that like I can't do anything with detail or money or emails or like uploading things.
And she
like,
just folded.
I can't.
collapsed. Yeah.
I can't do it. Like the technical, like nitty gritty stuff is just so stressful to me. And so she does all of that.
We have our roles in our.
Yeah. And I'm like, while you upload that video, I'll clean the kitchen.
Yeah.
So that works out.
Yeah.
You know.
So y'all just have to make it work, and it's just a natural flow.
Mm-hmm.
How lucky is that?
It's really lucky.
I have to ask you guys. Oh, well, actually, I was gonna ask you guys a few questions on my phone, but I haven't. So I know these. I want to kind of like get to a little of heart questions because y'all are so heart oriented.
Yeah.
What does the world need now?
Oh.
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 Ooh, I want this to be a good answer.
I know. I feel like it needs unity. I know.
Totally.
I know that
Yeah.
that's like
That's
the
a
most
hard-
impossible thing right now, but just with like, no matter which political view you have, no matter what you view, like I feel like the separation is just what makes everything so much worse.
Totally.
Yeah, people are so
Um,
busy like fighting their, political. People are so busy fighting their political views on Facebook that they're forgetting the fact that like so many kids died
Yes.
over like the Florida shooting, and it's like it's taking all the sensitivity out of it. I feel like we need to like be more sensitive and like
Yeah, it's like
remember-
there are people that like no matter what, like if you like strip people down to like just people, it's like they're still a human being who
Yeah.
has hard days and like really like real emotions, and it's just like you need each other more than you know.
Yeah.
And
Well, and it's also like we teach our children to not yell at each other, not hit each other,
Yeah.
to treat each other with respect. But then as adults, we don't even respect each other.
No.
We just start yelling at each other and drawing huge barriers between each other.
Yeah.
When why can't we just meet in the middle and have real conversations? I mean,
Yeah.
here we're trying to get political. Okay, anyway, but I agree. The world needs unity.
Yeah.
Okay, what does love mean to y'all?
Ooh. Do you want to go first?
I feel like it means support. Like that was like the
Yeah.
first thing that like kind of came to mind. Just like having somebody be there for you and support you, like, and through like your crazy like times, just like really be there for you, like, and like mean it. You know, like that's like what love is for me, and like
Showing up.
it's showing up, yeah, and
Yeah.
like doing the things that you don't want to do for yourself. You know,
Yeah.
like sometimes like you don't want to do it, but like somebody who loves you will always do whatever that is for you, whether it be like literally a physical thing, like I don't want to like take the trash out, but like just like
Yeah.
stuff like, or just like I don't want to love myself today, like somebody else like it shows up and does that for you.
I love that.
That's what
I think mine's similar in a way, but I think it's acceptance, because there's like once you find like the right person, and obviously like your mom and like your family, they all accept you and know you and love you anyway for anything that you do, everything that you are. And I think that is the meaning of love to me, is just loving and enjoying this person for everything that they are.
And not trying to change someone
Exactly.
to be like you, or because you think it needs to be like this,
Yeah.
but accepting the full thing. I agree. I feel like if we could accept each other and just
Yeah.
like everyone I love, I know the parts of their personality that drive me crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm very aware of
Yeah.
what drives me crazy about people, but then I'm also very aware about what I probably do to drive
Yeah.
other people crazy.
Exactly.
So it's like instead of focusing on that, like the 25% that drives us nuts, let's focus on the 75% that's awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
that drew you to them. And
Yes.
yeah.
I totally agree with that. Okay, what do you think darkness is? I know. What is darkness in this
Anxiety. I think a lot of darkness comes from yourself, honestly. Like
it's all yourself.
yeah, because
world? What do you mean yourself?
I feel like a lot of it for me is, being scared that you're basically telling yourself that you're not good enough, or telling yourself that
Self-worth.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of it I feel like comes from your head. Like
Totally.
your head can be a very dark place, but it can also be a very happy place.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely like you telling yourself like that you're not worthy of this, you're not worthy of good things, you're not worthy like of whatever. Like that can get so dark so quick, and then that just leads to darkness everywhere else.
Yeah.
Like it really does.
It makes it harder to find the joy in things that actually are joyful, because you're so distracted by the darkness.
It turns you like dark so people don't love you. Like people don't want to support you because they're like, she doesn't even support herself.
Like, some people can have tons of proof to back it up that their head, that what they're thinking in their head is right. Like they can be like, well, my parents told me this growing up that I was unworthy, or I had a teacher who said I'd never amount to anything, or I look weird in my mind or something, and so they have all this proof that they can back up and validate their darkness, and so then they consider it fact. But really, that's still just your head.
It is.
Yeah. It's not fact, because no one can tell you your worth but yourself, and you're already worthy because we're here.
Exactly.
So that's really all the proof we need that we're worthy. But it took me a long time to realize that.
Yeah, that's
daily.
It's still daily.
Yeah.
I know that now, but I still forget it.
Yeah. That's a really good concept, though, that like some people think things in their heads are facts.
Because they have proof. Because people who they have put in an authority figure have told them things.
It's like you have to retrain your brain.
You have to rewire yourself.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of work. And I think that's what some people don't realize. Like, even like for us three, like we work really hard on being happy and positive.
Yeah.
But it's like people are like, oh, you're just so happy and like life is so great for you. But it's like, oh my gosh, do you even know how many books I have to read to get this way? How many like self-help things? It's a daily practice.
Yeah.
It is.
And it's a choice every single day. Like for me, and once you start choosing it, don't you feel like it gets to become more?
It becomes a habit.
A habit.
Yeah.
But you have to, in the beginning, I remember when I was changing, because I didn't always used to be positive at all.
Yeah.
When I was changing it, I had to just make that choice every day.
Yeah.
And it's tiring.
Yeah.
But it's so worth it.
It's so worth it.
Yeah.
Okay, so my last thing I want to ask, what is, I think I might have asked you all this before, but what is your favorite thing about Megan, and what is your favorite thing about Liz?
Oh, I forgot what I said last time.
I know. I know. Can do different ones.
I mean, my favorite thing about you.
Ooh. That's so hard to think of just like one.
I'll think of something that's like, I know I didn't say this last time because it's been highlighted in the wedding planning. So
like
this
a
is
factual thing.
It's kind of weird, but like I'm so grateful for it. Is she pushes me to like I don't even know what the right word is, but like to like be better for myself. Like even when it comes to like, like I'm just so like, I don't care. Like I'm like, whatever, like I can cheap out on stuff. Like I don't care. But Megan's like, no, you need to invest in yourself a little bit. You need to know that like when you look back on the wedding day or like whenever this time, like you're not going to be happy with this because you were just like not caring and you're just like trying to take the easy way out. She's like, you need to invest in yourself, on whether it be like a little bit more money in the photographer or like stuff like that. But you do this for me like in my life too.
Yeah.
You're like no, you can do better than that.
You don't let her shortchange yourself.
I don't.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
You're like,
That's
you're better
awesome.
I don't know why you do that.
I always do. Yeah.
No.
Always.
It's sad.
Probably because like I'm sort of in that same way. Like I hate like the details part of thing and like electronics and like figuring out how to upload stuff and like stuff that takes a lot of time and it feels like it's work.
Yeah.
I'm usually like, oh God, how can I not do that work?
Yeah. Like really though.
But then you're right, because you're like, but it's going to pay off.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're gonna be so happy you did it.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Okay, Megan, you're up.
Okay, I think mine is just that, like, I don't know, it kind of goes back to, like, the acceptance thing, because, like, I feel like on a daily basis, I'm, like, here.
Like all over the place?
Yeah, I'm just, like, all over the place with, like, my emotions or how I feel about things, and, like, she's, like, always there, no matter what crazy thought pops in my head. I don't hesitate to say it out loud and be like, so, like, this isn't like a thing, right? And she's always like, no, like it's totally, and she never like dings me. She's never like, Megan, can you stop talking about that? She'll talk me through it. She'll walk me through it, and I'll be like, okay, I'll leave feeling like way better than I was in my head.
Takes the time to go through it all with you. Doesn't just like discount your feelings.
Yeah. She like takes the time to understand like why I'm feeling them, and she'll talk
and work
them
you
through
it.
Yeah.
Talk me down.
Talk me down. That's what we say. We always go, talk me down.
We always say that. Talk me down.
I'm in love with y'all. How incredible is y'all sweet, sweet sisterhood?
Yeah, it's pretty great.
What a blessing! It makes me want to cry. And y'all are easing your way into separating because Liz had to go off and get engaged and married, so now y'all can't live together. But luckily, Megan halftime lives in Memphis.
Yes.
So y'all are learning how
practice.
to live apart.
Yeah, it's
gradually.
been a thing. It's been a thing.
It is.
I think it's just now feeling good to me. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
I
I
feel
feel
like
like
a week on, a week off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like now it's like I'm not so scared of you leaving. It's almost like, okay, like now when you go, it's like I know
You know what to expect.
I know to
kinda,
expect. I know
yeah.
my own routines now. You know, I'm not totally dependent on her routines to like structure my routines.
See,
and-
you're learning faster than me because my poor boyfriend, he comes home and he's like, "You're not mad at me. You're mad that Liz isn't here." And I'm like, "You're right."
It's not your fault, but oh my god, I
Yeah.
have to take it out on.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel it, but like even so, like we FaceTime, text, call
All day.
All day.
Every day. Yeah.
every day, no matter what. Even if we're together, I swear we're like texting
Yeah.
about something. Like it's like all
I'm
day.
in love with y'all.
Oh.
Okay, so I wrap up. Leave your light. So just leave some inspiration, some positivity you want to shed on the world. Maybe like what you would want to tell young girls or young influencers. Just like leave some inspiration.
Okay.
Anything you want. It doesn't have to be anything. It
Okay.
can be anything. Anything is inspiring.
I'd say no matter what you're going through in your life right now, whether it be good, bad, best day of your life, worst day of your life, I think it's important for everybody to embrace the fact that nothing is forever. So if you're having the worst day of your life, it won't be the worst day of your life forever. But if you're having the best day of your life, don't let that get to your head.
Yeah.
I love that.
Let that keep you, like, enjoy it for everything that it's worth and know they'll come again, but don't let it go to your head.
Like, don't get stuck there and think.
Yeah.
Then, because you self-sabotage.
Yeah.
Because you're so worried about losing
Yep.
it. No, it's going to pass.
Yes.
It's all going to pass.
Yes.
But more stuff is going to come.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
Follow that.
Yeah.
Mike, Megan for the win.
Oh, I think I'm gonna do a love themed one.
Oh,
just
yeah.
because, you
you're
know,
getting
I'm
married.
You're
married
getting
and
married.
all that. A lot of people like keep asking me like, how did you know? Like that's like
love
the
that.
number one question that people are like, literally like I did a question and answer and they're like, how did you know he was the one? Like how did you know? How did you know?
I love.
And,
How do you know?
I
That's
mean,
a great question.
Yeah. And so I guess like my advice is like how you know is like you have to listen to where you are.
Mm-hmm.
You can't like think that like I'm this age now, so it's time to get married.
Out of pressure or fear.
yeah,
Anything
pressure or
fear-based.
fear.
Yeah.
You can't do that. And the right person will like the kind of love that you feel. It won't make you question if there's anything else. I feel like with all of my other like relationships before this one, I would always be like, this is great. Because you can have something great, but if you're still questioning, like, this is great, but like, wow, I wonder if I'd be better with somebody else.
Totally.
But not to get that confused with anxiety, because anxiety can draw
Yeah.
up those questions too.
But I mean,
Right.
if you're really
Yeah.
like for months at a time being
Yeah.
like, I don't know,
Yeah.
like
Right.
I feel like there's somebody better for me.
Yeah.
Like you're probably right.
But then you're like, oh, there's probably not, and I don't want to.
Exactly.
I don't want to lose this, so I'm just gonna settle.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to get
You
there.
don't want to do
Don't
that.
do that.
Because as someone that is married, if you are not totally like best friends and like in it to win it,
Mm-hmm.
marriage throws all sorts of stuff at you that have nothing to do with how much you love each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got to have that foundation. I totally agree.
Yeah. So definitely like make sure that you're not questioning other things and
Mm-hmm.
you know, like with the person that you love, like it will be the one and you will know when it's the one.
Yeah.
Like you really will know. Like when they say you know, it's like you really do. That's a real thing.
It's kind of, don't you feel like it's sort of just like almost like a peace thing too?
Yeah.
Like you just sort of are yourself. I read
Yeah.
something that said like someone who is not your soulmate will make you feel like all sorts of things, like up and down and emotions
Yeah.
and passion and crazy stuff. But like when you're with your one, you feel all this passion, but it's with peace behind it.
Yeah.
It's
You
not
just feel like
tumultuous.
home.
Yes. And
Like,
you can be yourself.
Comfortable. Yeah.
You don't have to put on an air.
Yeah.
I
That's so
love that
true.
question. I'm so glad that you addressed that, because you should never get married because you feel like you're old,
Uh-huh.
because you feel like no one's gonna love you.
Yeah.
For any reason other than this person lets you be you.
Yeah.
And I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like you genuinely feel like there's like no one else that you would rather be with.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
you're not even thinking about it. You're not
Yes.
like maybe like oh that person I used to date. Like no, like you just have to have no questions.
Yeah.
Like it's just
Yeah, you're like, if freaking Leonardo DiCaprio came up and said, you're the one, you're gonna be like, dude, sorry, I'm a
I already
good
got
person.
one, yeah.
Yeah, it has to be that strong.
yes,
Yeah.
it really does.
But I mean, Leo would be a hard sell to turn down. But,
Yeah.
I'd be like I love your films,
I love
but
you.
like
Yeah.
But I mean,
I love you too, but like I can't.
love you in Titanic, but you know, just yeah.
Could we act out that one scene on the end of the boat though? You know, just with the arms out. Jack,
It's
I'm
just
a
one
bird.
time.
I'm flying. Can we just do that?
Yeah.
And that's all you're gonna get. Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks, Leo.
Megan and Liz, I love y'all so much. Thank you for joining me again on my influencer series. Y'all are the best. New music coming soon.
Very soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
New
very
music coming
soon.
soon. We have a wedding coming soon.
Yeah.
So exciting. Love you, girls.
Love y'all.
Love y'all.
Bye.